I recently opened up and told you guys about how I've been slipping as a dog owner myself with my personal dogs. Now, we spent a whole episode following me getting my role model dog Sully back up to his normal high standards after my Achilles rupture and house move that meant I hadn't trained him as much as I usually do. But today I want to show you what that looks like with my family guard dog Puppy as I start working on getting her back up to her usual place. So before I can dive into the type of training that I need to do with Puppy to get her back to the high levels and standards and expectations that I have of all my dogs, one thing is really important for us to discuss, and that is that absolutely I have different expectations of my dogs, and some people might think that that's a problem, and I think it's important that I explain to you why. These are my two personal dogs right now, Uncle Sully and Puppy. Uncle Sully is my role model dog when I work with extreme canine behavior cases. So I have a much higher expectation of him than I do of Puppy, who is just our pet dog and guard dog. But the reality is that she wouldn't be able to make a good role model dog because of her personality, temperament and characteristics doesn't suit it very well. She's not a big fan of strange people or strange dogs. And my training has got her to a point where she's tolerant of them, but it wouldn't be perfect for what I'm looking for in the extreme requirements that I have of Uncle Sully. So all I really need from her is to be a tolerant, neutral dog that will walk nicely on a lead, will come back to me when I ask her to, has basic obedience and is well-mannered. That is what allows her to be a really nice, reliable family dog for me and my family. And then I allow her to be who she is in terms of a large, powerful, game-bred, guarding breed to do her job, which she will need to if anybody ever wants to come into our home, whether I'm there or not. So when it actually comes back to me dialing my training in with my dogs, the first thing that I do is focus on their loose lead walking. And as you probably know, if you've seen at least one of my videos, loose lead walking is the single cornerstone foundation of my training principle. I truly believe that not only does it turn the chore of your day of taking your dog for a walk into the joy of your day, but the knock-on ramifications are absolutely undeniable in every aspect of you and your dog's life, and should be something that every single dog owner is doing with their dog. Now, when I had to dial Sully back in last week, we had to do a lot more work on our loose lead walking, whereas Puppy has dropped straight back in beautifully. Now we're going to get a really fun opportunity here, and you're going to see people walking past with real life distractions. She's checking in, she's having a look, but she maintained her loose lead walk with me beautifully, and this is perfect. Now, if we did have any issues, I would simply do the tune-up drill, which is what you saw that I had to do with Uncle Sully because his loose lead walking had slipped quite badly, whereas Puppy has dropped in beautifully, no issues whatsoever. So I'm just going to be super happy, content, and we're going to move into focusing on other aspects of her training that may have slipped a little bit more in this time where I've not been able to work with her as much as I'd have liked. Puppy, come. Oh, she's a good girl. Now, this is absolutely one of the mandatory things that I need to do. I was very impressed with Puppy's loose lead walking, but definitely something that slipped, as I've not been able to train her anywhere near as much as I would like to or usually do, is her recall. Now, she's not like Uncle Sully. Uncle Sully's high energy working line breeds. He likes to run, he likes to move. Whereas Puppy, she is a much slower, lazier Mastiff breed, and where Sully wants to be with me and working with me, Puppy's breed makes it more common sense for her to go and parole. She likes to be walking the perimeter, doing her own thing, aware of where I am, but keeping everybody safe. So her recall is harder than Uncle Sully's. When I took my foot off the gas with all of their training, Uncle Sully's heel needed dialing in, but his recall remained perfect. Puppy, her recall needs dialing in, but her heel work remained perfect. Again, it talks back to that thing of different expectations and understanding who your dog is. So what I do in this situation is I just kind of move around. I start playing some of the recall games, and the very first, most basic, simple game that I play with all my dogs in this situation is that I equal awesome. So I keep moving, and every now and again I get to a position like this where Puppy isn't paying attention. Puppy, come on! And you see Uncle Sully wants to do it as well, but every time you come to me, something good's going to happen. This equals awesome. This big circle around me here is a great positive place to be. Now break, Now you can go and do your own thing. And again, you'll find that Puppy's natural inclination is now to go and wander, do those perimeter checks that I just talked about. Sully's natural inclination is to come in to me, even once I've sent them off. Again, genetics, characteristics, temperament, personality. But I want to play this game again. Anytime you come in my personal space, that's a good place to be. And that is just like the tune-up game for loose lead walking. This is a nice little tune-up for your recall. It's constantly drip feeding to them. Again, drawing them in. When you break that threshold, ding, 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 ding. Good place to be. Puppy loves this. She loves a really nice scratch behind the ears and under her chin. It's a hot day today. If I tried to give her food, she wouldn't take it off me. But coming in, leaning up against me, being a big rugged mastiff, getting a big scratch behind the ear, both of them absolutely love this. And then we move on again. Then there's tons of different recall games in my recall system, and we play some more of those. So the next thing we need to work on is crate training. And with the house move and the house renovation, Puppy has been staying at my parents', and just like grandparents are with kids, they spoil them absolutely rotten. So she's been sleeping on beds, she's been sleeping on sofas, whereas she's used to sleeping in crates or on her dog bed in the house. So one of the things we need to dial back up is her crate training and getting her going back in the crate. Now, she's been crate trained for years, so I know that she'll go straight back in the crate, but I want her to start going back in on a command. So that's something that we're just going to start working on today. So how I work with that is I use my lead, just if I need to kind of just like hold her hand and guide her in, just help her understand what it is that I want from her. I've got some tasty beef liver, and we're just going to play a game of going in and out of her crate. Now, she has got a brand new impact crate. That's another reason why we're working on this, just to get her comfortable with her new crate environment. These are the best crates in the world, and one of the reasons I love them is that they're way more den-like than traditional crates. But for dogs, you just have to help them understand if they've got used to one thing, getting used to a new thing. When dogs can be quite habitual and get used to things very easily, you want to help them overcome that as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So all we're going to do is open up the door. I've got one of her beef liver treats, and I'm just going to help her understand. Come on, in your bed. Good girl. And she goes straight in, gets her food. When she turns around, break, and she can come straight back out. And we're just going to be playing this game, good girl, and I'm laying in her command. Puppy, come on, in your bed. Yes. When all four go in, she gets a command. That time she came out without me kind of breaking her out, which again, bad habits have slipped in over time. She shouldn't be doing that. So that's something that I'm going to work on now live as part of her training. Good girl, Puppy, come on, in your bed. Good girl. So she's probably going to turn around. Nope. I put her back in, and she has to remember she stays in there even if the door's open. Threshold manners. Break. Good girl. Yes. We'll do that again. Come on, Puppy, in your bed. Nice. Building up those reps. Let's see if she comes straight out. Nope. Good. She remembers. I was getting ready to put spatial pressure her back in, but she remembered. She's looking up to me for guidance and direction. Beautiful. Break. And again, we've got a couple more pieces. Let's do 2 more reps. Good girl. In your bed. Good girl. Stay. Nope. Spatial pressure back in. Make her wait. Looking up to me for guidance and direction. Break. Good. Last rep. Let's see if we can finish on a nice high. I'm actually going to break this in 2. So I really want to finish on a really successful rep where she doesn't kind of break herself. Puppy, in your bed. Good girl. Nope. Spatial pressure back in. Help reminder. Break. Good. Let's go again. Puppy, in your bed. Good. That's better. Better. Looking up for me. Break. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. What's this? You missed this one. Yeah, good girl. Here's a good girl. Nice big reward. Lead off. Break. And we finish our training session. Short, sharp training sessions like this, alongside of our recall games. Again, her loose lead walking, chuffed to bits. That crate training, I want to get that much higher standard. I want to get back to a point where I can be sending her into her crate 10, 15, 20 meters is really nice. It's really useful in the house. If I'm cooking something or I've got something hot, we always keep her crate in the room that she's allowed in, door open, really comfortable bed. And I just know that I say, in your bed, and she'll go and take herself away and get into the crate. So that's one thing we're going to be working on. But again, these things take time. So yes, things like heel work are incredibly important, recalls incredibly important, crate training's incredibly important, and the other little bits of obedience that me and Puppy just need to kind of get back on track. But the thing that I really want you to take away from this video is about honouring your dog. We discussed earlier about how I have different expectations, but I absolutely adore Puppy, even though she is a completely different dog from Sully. But if I wanted her to be like Sully, I'd always be disappointed, I'd always be frustrated, and our relationship would break down because of it. So I think it's incredibly important that you understand not just the breed of your dog, but the specific characteristics, personality type and genetics of your dog, so that you can honour who they are as a dog. Yes, you then layer those pieces of obedience on top. We don't use those things as an excuse for bad behaviour, but we understand where their behaviour is coming from, which allows us to work with that behaviour in the best way and most efficient way possible. And like I say, if you understand your dog, if you can honour your dog, you'll be happy. And that's exactly one of the things that I'm going to be working on with Puppy. Yeah, she won't reach the same standards as Uncle Sully, but that doesn't matter, because for her expectations and for who she is as a dog, I don't need her to be. And if more people around the world stop trying to make all of their dogs like Uncle Sully, or like some of the amazing Malinois you see on Instagram, or the Border Collies you see rounding up sheep and get frustrated that your dog isn't quite that good, you might be doing a disservice to you both. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new here, and we'll see you on the next video.